I'm not a lawyer, but today there was a hearing in the YSL case over rap lyrics being used in the trial, and I watched all of the hearing, so let me recap it for you. Before I get into it, let me say that there has not been an update on the motion to dismiss. I'm waiting just like y'all. Okay, so as anyone could predict, the prosecutors want to be able to use rap lyrics in the trial, and the defense attorneys obviously don't want that. Rap lyrics being used in trial is a long debated issue, and it really comes down to this. Are lyrics a form of artistic expression and therefore protected by the First Amendment, or can lyrics be used as evidence of a crime? So in this case, the state is arguing that the defendants are not being prosecuted for what they said in the songs, which would be a violation of the First Amendment. They are instead being prosecuted for crimes they allegedly committed, and the lyrics are just used as support of those alleged crimes. So here are the 4 things the state wants to use the lyrics to prove. Number 1, that YSL is in fact a gang. Number 2, that the defendants in this case are affiliated with that gang. Number 3, that specific crimes happened and lyrics support that those crimes happened and who committed them. And number 4, that Young Thug is the ringleader of the YSL gang. Here are a couple clips of the prosecutors referencing the lyrics they plan to use.
United States Supreme Court authority. The First Amendment does not prohibit the evidentiary use of speech. Here, the lyrics are being presented to prove things like the nature of YSL as a racketeering enterprise, the expectations of YSL as a criminal street gang. So this is evidence to prove the crimes.
The cover of this Slime Language 2 album has a gold frame with a snake coming out of the top of the frame. The snake represents another symbol that YSL gang members use. Next we have, the song is called Bad Boy, and Mr. Williams says, I at his mommy, now he no longer mention me. We have cases in which individuals of YSL at the opposition's mother's house. And what is extremely significant is, as an ad-lib, it's not really a particular verse in the song, knocking off your big homie. The state believes that the evidence will show that Mr. Thomas was one of the leading members of the opposition gang. And he would be someone who would be considered a big homie to a number of people. And says, come enroll in a YSL school, and I swear I'm the principal. This admission provides proof of the existence of the YSL enterprise, that Mr. Williams is attempting to recruit more persons to enroll in this YSL school. It also demonstrates that he's the leader of the enterprise.
Once the state wrapped up their presentation, some of the attorneys for the defendants got up and made their argument as to why lyrics should not be used. And their arguments consisted of a few points. Number 1, that rap is the only art form that is considered or referenced when bringing about criminal charges.
Rap is the only fictional art form treated this way. No other musical genre and no other art is used in the same way and to the same extent.
Okay, number 2, the defendant's attorneys argued that musical artists essentially have like an alter ego, almost like an actor. But yet, for rap artists, the lyrics they use in their songs as performers and as these alter egos are still able to be used against them in their everyday life.
So we hear a lot of things about what Yak Gotti rapped. Yak Gotti is not on trial here. Diamante Kendrick is on trial here. We're ignoring art. There is art here, and the art has to be separated from the real life. I understand, but only in rap music do you say that the person, the character rapping, the persona rapping, in this case, the persona Yak Gotti rapping.
Okay, that's just my name. That's my stage name. That's the name that I go under. I'm still tied to that particular person. Like, it's still tied to your client, right? Yak Gotti is your client's nickname, right?
Yak Gotti is
or stage name.
Yak Gotti is his stage name. That's correct.
All right.
But when Yak Gotti is rapping, it's not proper to take what he's rapping and say, that is the mental state of this person. That is what he is thinking. That's a perspective of his song.
Okay, number 3, the defense attorneys argued that some of the songs that the state wants to use were created or released either prior to the crimes happening or a long time after the crimes happening.
I think it's released on Apple Music April 17th of 2015.
Recorded 2013.
But it was released April the 17th of 2015. When did the homicide occur?
January 2015. How, when recorded in 2013, did Mr. Kendrick know that Donovan Thomas was going to be murdered in January of 2015?
And since it's all artistic expression, some of it is left to interpretation.
And again, we've got ambiguous, multiple meanings. What is 12? Running from 12. Is it running around his neighborhood at the age of 12? He had a friend named 12 when he was younger. Is it running with his friend named 12? Or is it the police? Or is it all three? Or is it, as good artists do, is it up to the listener to decide what it means?
Last point that came from Young Thug's attorney is the fact that multiple writers, producers, background vocalists can all work on a single song. So how can the state prove who wrote what lyric? And with the use of AI, Brian Steele says the state needs to prove it's actually Young Thug's voice on the songs and saying the lyrics that they plan to use.
There are producers, there are people who are experts in changing around beats. They can move words from one way to another. AI is used in the recording.
Yeah, you told me this like 10 months ago, Mr. Steele. I still remember that.
So after this very long hearing that lasted well past 8 p.m., eventually the feed got cut, so I couldn't even see the ending. But thanks to this tweet, I was able to learn that the judge eventually said he's going to think about it overnight and make a decision in the morning. So as of now, we don't know if lyrics are going to be able to be used. We'll see what happens tomorrow.